I'm wondering if you could tell us about someone you know who is a renter, somebody who needs social services and assistances like SNAP, or that are having trouble paying medical bills, someone making less than $15 an hour, someone that you know in your life that is experiencing some of the difficult things about our current economy, both in Burlington and nationally, and how that relationship will inform your time on the council. And Lizzie, we'll start with you.
Okay. So I am currently a renter in Burlington. I'm a young professional in the area. So trying to find a place to live was really difficult that would fit my budget while I'm also trying to pay for student loans, utilities, food, and save for buying a home one day or other future personal expenses. So that I can bring to the council, and I have a personal perspective of that issue. In terms of social services, I grew up with a family that worked incredibly hard, but neither of my parents were able to go to college, and there was a certain point of time in our life when we were using social services such as food stamps in order to survive. So that is something else I can bring. I've been through those circumstances, and while I also understand that these circumstances are only my own, which is why I am committed to meeting with residents and making sure I'm understanding the wide number of perspectives that we have here in the ward and addressing all of them.
All right, Brian?
Sure. As a 30-plus year resident of the Old North End, I've known many people. I live across the street from someone who has struggled mightily over the last few years to hold her family together and meet her expenses. And I provided support as a neighbor and as a friend to actually help her and her family get through these challenges, secure more stable housing, understand and navigate the not only social service system but the job training systems so that they could actually get themselves on the path to self-sufficiency. It's important, I think, to be connected to people in that way because it gives us a real life example of when we're making policy decisions to remember that there are people who struggle day in and day out who are playing by the rules but who aren't even making ends meet. I think we need to constantly remind ourselves of those folks when we're always weighing decisions, when we weigh decisions at the City Council. And I'll bring that perspective as a deep part of who I am and what I've dedicated my life to.
James, go ahead.
I hate to say, but I'm surrounded by musical and visual artists who work several jobs just to get by, and they live on a financial knife edge. And they work nights and weekends, and the burden to pull it together to rent and afford to live in Burlington is one that is impossible for some people. You know, I have people who I consider friends and colleagues who I've seen their teeth crumble out of their head, more than one person, because they can't afford, you know, the medical support. And there are people who have these multiple jobs. So, you know, I know that even as we're aspiring for this $15 minimum wage, the cost of a livable wage in Burlington is even higher than that. So the reality of living in Burlington is one that, you know, is more of a pressure on people who have modest means than maybe we even realize. We have a lot to work toward to, I don't know, provide a level playing field and to create the opportunities for people who struggle this hard. As a city government, we create offices like CEDO to, you know, to help, to come up with the ideas and the programs and to make the investments that can make life, you know, more what it should be, more equitable for everybody. And as a city councilor, that's something that I would pay absolutely critical attention to. The quality of life for everybody should be one that we're paying attention to.